Okay.
Okay, great. So we are in Module 3. Today is July 17th. And excuse me for my voice. I'm kind of losing my voice here, so bear with me. I'll put this up a little bit.
Hold on, I'm gonna turn the headphones.
Okay. In this module, you're going to start to look into writing the actual essay. Now, I want to make clear that for this assignment, you are just writing your abstract, and you are just writing all of the information. So you don't actually have to write everything. So you're just writing, incorporating a minimum of 5 current scholarly journal articles, unless it's ones that I've put it on here. And the final version will be due in Module 4. Okay, so you're just putting an abstract, which is usually about 150 to 300 words, and the reference list. If you want to put in there your outline, I've had a few people write their outlines when they submit it. You can do that, and then I can give some suggestions of things that you might want to put in there and things that you might want to take out. So this week, we will look at technology, gender, culture, and management. When is discrimination actually legal, and the types of discrimination. By the end of the week, you will be able to examine and evaluate cross-cultural relationships and the current diversity policies within organizations, analyze and evaluate the principal issues involved in developing an effective diversity policy, develop general guidelines based on gender, ethnicity, and religion. This includes the human resource practices, and looking at social media platforms as well. So we have our assignments, which most of you have already started with the Module 3 discussion. And then once again, we have the other assignment as well, the Essay 1, which we know is not due until Module 4, but this week you're just doing the abstract. For the first essay, it will be a 6-to-8-page paper, and it's discussing why cultural diversity is or is not important to your selected organization. It is not an opinion paper, although you're going to have an opinion about it. You just have to be careful the way that you present it so it doesn't sound so biased. Additional resources are here that you might want to look at as well. So the first one that we have is, let me go ahead and open this. This is from 2013, so just about 6 years old. This is Insights Diversity Inclusion, Making the Business Case. And you can go through this one. Once again, I'll put these up. Another type of discrimination that you can discuss and talk about, which is transgender. And that might be something that you might want to talk about as well, and then I'm going to go over those handouts. Transgender discrimination, and this is particularly important when it comes to hiring and firing practices. Also, you can look at it as far as places to live, accessing public places, and so there's a lot of stuff in there as well. Here's workplace fairness. This also looks at gender identity discrimination, and I think it's something that we've seen a lot in the news lately, so that's why I like to bring up that as well. So you can kind of take that how you'd like to and think about some different particular organizations that have explicitly done this and what terms does an employer need to know. So you can kind of look at it as ways as a human resource development operator, and then also as those being discriminated against as well. I'm going to go over some additional resources here. Let me go ahead and bring these up. The first one is a management article. And I thought I had these up here. Oh, that's not it. I might have to put these up in here at a later time. This is just an overview of higher education diversity access and the role of the marketplace. So I will post this. This is looking at distinctions of where U.S. higher education looks at and where we're at in comparison as well. The next one that I think is important is Nordhaus, and let me just find that. This is the main one, and I might have to just put that in there. I thought I had, okay, here we go. Nordhaus is really something that is a book that I think all of us should have access to. This is Theory and Practice. I will go ahead and post this. A lot of this stuff in here you might use for your dissertation if you have not already, but you can go through here and look at it. Some really good information on leadership and theory into practice. So I'm gonna give access to you on that, and that's the entire book here. So I think that's some good stuff. Okay. And then these other ones, I don't know, I thought I had them on there, but I'll go ahead and post those as well. Diversity, once again, has kind of been the motto in American academia for more than a decade, but what does it actually mean? And so many organizations have a mixture of different races and culture, we know that. And now that most higher education institutions have embraced new worlds of teaching and pedagogy with diverse faculty, we're seeing this more and more, it's becoming more and more common for those being represented, but it's not the norm. And so that's something that although we talk about, is actually happening. Once again, diversity is important. It has to be within the faculty, need to represent those that are in the classroom, and really taking into more of an authentic aspect of that as well. Go ahead and go through here. Again, increased number of women and minorities now holding high positions in academia. This is completely different. And also the online learning platforms. This increased interest as far as culture and learning beliefs is something that's also been cited over and over. Just being able to look at different thinking strategies, skills, relating to concepts, cognitive development. These are all things that we can look at and is in Norton. The multicultural classroom instruction that does not take students' cognitive style into consideration. Those are all things that have to get changed. And so we're really looking at multicultural education in a transformative and transformation approach when taught. And hopefully this is going to be now trickled down into where they are actually giving the programs for pre-service teachers. Hopefully these types of cultural diversities ideas and theories are actually being presented. Some organizations have established diversity committees. This aims to affirm and guide diversity, and hopefully it's authentic. I know at different institutions that I've worked at actually have diversity committees, but it's just a thing to check the box. They're actually not doing anything on the campus, and so that's something that you might want to think about. Often diversity committees, they can be involved in the approval of proposals for diversity courses. They conduct short intensive faculty diversity training workshops. And so these types of training initiatives are often done by a diverse or diversity committee. But it would be important to think about what actually are they doing, and are they actually being helpful? Once again, these are just things that we need to think about: habits of thinking, interpersonal and social relationships. And so often when we are thinking of multicultural education, that's kind of a buzzword between K through 12, but it absolutely needs to be within higher education as well. Demographic statistics, once again, it continues to change. Those are a little bit outdated. And here are some additional resources and references as well. So a lot of this stuff, once again, has to do really with the pedagogical practices that we are looking at and that we are using for our students, what's actually working. So I'm going to go ahead and go back through our class as well. and then just take this time to answer any questions that we have. And really just get some feedback from you as far as what you need. So for Module 3, you probably have already gone through this, but you're going to be looking at what's the business case for diversity in the workplace, why old habits die hard, and then diversity and inclusion. This one right here is from the business case, and I put this up earlier, so you can kind of go through that as well. It's also important to note that this stuff is going to continue to be updated. So as soon as I post this stuff, it's already kind of outdated because everything needs to get changed at all times when it comes to being culturally diverse. But I've noticed that a lot of you have already gone through and did the discussion, started the discussion, so it's been really nice to read. Let's go ahead and go now to our next. Sorry, these things. Okay. So we're just basically in the summary. Once again, we're just analyzing current trends. And then in this next module, we're going to evaluate the way that we feel about the current organization. And if you don't have a organization that you want to actually use, like I said before, you can just kind of think about an organization that you did work at or that you would like to work at, or one that you have noticed that's in the media a lot and things like that. So let's go ahead. This is due July 21st. And we can go in here. So much that leaders of organization, when it comes to diversity, is looking at the impact implications for organizational goals. Students are to select an organization for which they have direct experience with. Once again, maybe it's something that you're doing right now. The final version isn't due until next week. This week, you're just going to turn in an abstract. And when it comes to an abstract, I would just say, 150 to 300 words is probably enough. I wouldn't worry about it any longer than that. You also can put an outline in there. You can do it as detailed or as, kind of skeletal as you like. The more details, the better for you writing it. And then also I can give feedback. And then, of course, your reference list with at least 5 sources. And so it's not an opinion paper, although I have had students, it's obvious that with the writing, using a third-person pronoun, you'll be able to notice what the opinion is, but you're not actually making an argumentative or, using the narrative I on that. Everything will be supported with the readings and the writings as well. So this is kind of what is due in the next 2 weeks. So we're just looking at really, is it diverse? So if I was at a school and I was teaching, let's say I was teaching 5th grade, and I had that within that school district, is diversity actually happening there? Well, I would say probably not, because it's the course curriculum and everyone that's in every single meeting and committee, it's all the same people. They're making all the rules. They're the ones that are taking into account any kind of complaints, and the complaints are usually about those individuals. And so the administration are all working together. So they're actually not being diverse. They're saying on their website, I go into their website, and their website says we are a diverse education institution. But then I look at who they've actually hired in the last 2 years, and it's not diverse. So those are the types of things that I would say I would just present. So I would go into their website. I could go on and look at, okay, well, looking in the human resources, they say that they're looking for faculty that represent, a diverse picture, but when reality, they do not. And I can get the statistics of what the faculty members are on their race. I can get all those statistics on the website as well. So those are some things that I would do if I was going to be doing this paper. And then later on at the end of the course, you will then have an idea of, okay, what could be done now? Okay, well, this isn't working here, so what kind of action plan can I take? And that's basically what we want to do in this course, is to kind of give you an idea of what you could actually do if you were to implement a diversity plan within an organization that you either work at or that you are familiar with. Any questions on that?
Dr. Bond.
Hi.
Hi. How's everybody?
Good.
Am I moving too fast because I already wrote the paper.
You know what? You do it however is best for you.
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
If you feel like you wanted to do that, then that's fine. I can. What I'll do is I'll give you feedback, and
Okay.
I'll give you feedback for this particular where you're just doing the abstract and the outline, and then you can take that feedback, and if you want to, tweak it for module 4, then that's fine too.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, people like to work at it different ways, and so I've had plenty of students do that, and then for week 4, they just take some things out, and they have a more tidier paper there.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyone else? How is everyone doing with the discussion boards? Everyone's feeling like they can make the timeline. Everyone's good with that, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dr. Bond.
Hi.
Yeah.
Dr. Bond.
Yes. Hi.
Yeah, this is Charles. How are you?
Hi, Charles.
My question is I have an issue where I know you say not to make the paper opinionated, but it for me it's going in that direction, and the thing is I'm trying to keep me out of it.
Right.
In so many words, but it's difficult to do that. So I'm going to have to probably revamp it and go back. But I see what you're saying with the idea, the outline and everything. I'm going to have to go back.
Okay,
Because,
let me tell you this. It is going to it's kind of like an argumentative paper in the fact that you are going to have an opinion about it, but you're not using the pronoun I.
Okay. Cool.
So you have an opinion. It's kind of like if you're, it's kind of like you're saying, okay, well, this isn't a good policy, but you're not saying I don't believe in this policy. You're just giving everyone the facts of why this policy is not good.
Okay.
And they can make their own judgments. I mean, we know that any kind of writing, we can basically see the author's point of view. That's going to be in the claim, that's in the thesis. So as long as you are not explicitly saying, I believe this or I believe that, then that's fine. And that'll make it stronger for your, for the overall objectives of the course, is to be able to identify those.
Okay, thank you.
And that's fine. It is, and hopefully with this, with this kind of new mindset, you will be able to, see those types of things, and especially with experience, like you had said, you have an experience, and putting yourself in there, that's going to come out in your writing. That's just going to make it a lot better and stronger. So don't take yourself out of the writing.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Okay, I am going to post this. I'm going to find those other sources, and I'll post those up right now. And then I will look forward to looking at your outlines. As I get them, I will start to give feedback, so you can have some more time for next week. I'll start looking forward to going through those earlier.
Right.
Okay, does that sound good?
Yes.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, everyone have a great evening. And Mildred, how's your husband?
He's hanging in there. I'm waiting on the test.
Okay, well, I pray for good results.
What that spot is, but I'm staying positive.
Okay, good. Well, you're doing a good job, so.
All right. Thank you.
All right, you guys, I will post this, and have a good evening, okay? Keep up the good work.
You do the same.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night.